Welcome back. Today we take a look at future predictions, how to form predictions which we are quite certain will happen, and how to form predictions which we are less certain will happen. Let's begin. Take a look at the two sentences. Number one, the price of fuel will increase. Number two, the price of fuel might increase. What is the difference between the two sentences? Well, in the first sentence, this is a more definite prediction. We strongly believe that the price of fuel will increase. The second sentence is a less definite prediction. The price of fuel might or might not increase. We're not as sure. Now, most students are used to using the will plus infinitive verb form to make future predictions. When we have definite predictions, that is, we know or we believe in the certainty of an event, this would be the best formula to use, will plus the infinitive verb. The price of fuel will increase. Today we'll take a look at some of the forms we can use for these definite predictions, as well as some of the forms we can use for less definite predictions. If we want to make predictions which have a high certainty of happening, there are several formulae we can use. You've seen the first one, will plus the infinitive form of the main verb. However, we can also use adverbs such as definitely to increase the certainty of the action. For example, the price of fuel will rise. That is, it will increase from where it is now. In the future, the number of incurable diseases will definitely decline. So in the future, the number of incurable diseases will drop from where it is now. And we use the adverb definitely to indicate high certainty that this will happen. Next, we can use will plus continue to plus the infinitive form of the main verb. For example, the price of fuel will continue to rise. So this means it is already rising now and it will keep doing so. Another example, the number of incurable diseases will continue to decline. So this number is dropping at the moment and it will keep doing so. Will plus continue to plus the infinitive form of the main verb to show that something is going to keep on happening, and we are quite sure that this is so. Let's move on. Another form we can use is the verb to be, bound to, plus the infinitive form of the main verb. For example, tourism is bound to rise, and there is a high level of certainty about this prediction. Another example, tourists are bound to visit the new theme park. Again, we are very sure that this is going to happen. Another formula we can use, the verb to be plus certain to plus the infinitive form of the main verb. Using the two previous sentences, tourism is certain to rise. Again, there is a high level of certainty about this prediction, and tourists are certain to visit the new theme park. Another formula we can use is the verb to be plus likely or unlikely to plus the infinitive form of the main verb. For example, disease is likely to spread in war-torn areas. Now again, there is a high level of certainty with this prediction. We can also say that we believe strongly that something isn't likely to happen. In this case, for example, the plane is unlikely to stop despite the bad weather. So the verb to be plus unlikely to plus the infinitive form of the main verb. Just like before, if we'd like to increase the level of certainty about a prediction, we can use an adverb like highly. Number 6, for example, using the verb to be plus highly likely or highly unlikely to plus the infinitive form of the verb. Again, using the previous sentences as examples, disease is highly likely to spread in war-torn areas. Now, this raises the level of certainty about this prediction. And again, the plane is highly unlikely to stop despite the bad weather. A high level of certainty again. Now, what happens when we have less certain predictions that we'd like to make? Let's take a look at the first example. We can use may or might or could plus the infinitive form of the main verb. Here are some example sentences. It may rain tomorrow, but we're not sure. It may not. So there is a low level of certainty about this prediction. Second, we might see some movie stars there. Again, a low level of certainty. And finally, you could die out here in the desert, you know. It's possible. There's a low level of certainty that this could happen. Now take note, we don't use the modal verb can in this way. Something else that we could use to add a greater degree of probability to our prediction, we could use well. So may or might plus well plus the infinitive form of the main verb. For example, we may well run out of oil in 50 years. The next tsunami may very well destroy the country. So adding well or very well adds a little more to the probability of a prediction. Well, now that we've taken a look at some of the ways we can form predictions with different degrees of certainty, it's time for you to practice. That's it. I'll see you again.